I can get all of your questions answered. So welcome, 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 everyone. So excited you all are here this evening with me. My name is Dr. Staci. I'm so excited to share with you information about LifeWave, the stem cell activation technology, what it is, how it works, of course, and get your questions answered. Before I do, I want to share a disclaimer with you, of course. Even though I am a doctor, I'm not a medical doctor, by the way, just in case you were wondering. I have a PhD in integrative medicine that I received several years ago, and I have a PhD in functional medicine as well too that I received last year. I've been in holistic health for 20 years. So I am not a medical doctor. I am not your doctor. So if you have questions about your own health, of course, I'm going to be answering some of your questions here tonight, but please check with your healthcare practitioner or physician if you have any specific questions. And again, the information that I'm sharing tonight is information. And you can definitely check all the research, all the studies out, all the data, all the facts at startx39now.com. So please make sure you use that reference point as well too to learn more about this technology and the studies and what we've done. So tonight I'll be sharing information about X39 stem cell activation patch. And of course, I'll be touching on some of the other patches as well too. But I'm going to speak in reference to systems in the body and organs in the body and the way things work on the cellular level and the functionality of your organs, the function, the way they're functioning. So I won't be talking about specific diseases or syndromes or any kind of disorders. There are a lot of those out there right now. So when you ask me questions, if you can reference it in terms of that organ or that system that it impacts, if not, then I'm just going to twist it and turn it into that for you. So you understand, just for compliance reasons, we want to keep things on the up and up. So with that being said, I'm ready. Let's talk about X39 stem cell activation patch. So this is our crown jewel. This is our starting point for every single thing that we discuss. And the reason why is because of the key word stem cell. Stem cell. That word is huge. If you're not familiar with stem cells, it's a $106 billion industry. They're spending billions of dollars in stem cell research, and they have for a very long time. I actually found out about stem cells a little over 21 years ago when I was pregnant with my daughter. I banked both of my kids' cord blood. So that was not a thing 20 plus years ago, to take your umbilical cord from the baby and have it cut from the placenta and put in a freezer, a cryo facility, actually where my son's still is in Cincinnati, Ohio. So that's my first experience with stem cells, was using cord blood, donor cord blood, to cure African-American children of sickle cell anemia 21 years ago, successfully curing them with donor cord blood. And I thought, whoa, this is powerful. What is this world? Like, I've always been into all kinds of things holistic and natural. You know, my mom had 2 gardens and my dad hunted, and, you know, the animals were real and non-GMO, none of that existed. And so, you know, everything we had was fresh and made or, you know, cultivated right there. So basically, you guys, that was mind-blowing to me, that you could take stem cells from donor cord blood and use it potentially down the road of your own or donor for cancer, diabetes, heart disease, you know, Alzheimer's, dementia, all those things that were there but not real prevalent 20 plus years ago. So that was my first experience with stem cells. So this right here is where we start, the power of the stem cell. But I want you to understand, this is not a donor stem cell. This patch is non-transdermal. And so what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is a non-invasive way to signal your body, activate your body to elevate its own stem cells. Okay, so yes, I have my kids' cord blood banked. Yes, I did over 10 years of different stem cell therapy with my daughter, in and out of the country, hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy. We went to Mexico many times. We went to California. We did all kinds of things because stem cells are the holy grail of healing. They are, period, end of story. This is literally the only thing on this planet that is going to signal your body to elevate its own stem cells in this way, which is a non-transdermal patch that's non-invasive. Nothing is going into the body. This is a wearable light technology. And literally, you put it on in the morning, go about your day, and take it off 12 hours later, throw it away, or put it on your pet, put it in your pet bed, put it on their collar, glue it to their fur, whatever you need to do. If you have a pet that you want to keep young and youthful, and then do it again the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So this is simple. I don't have to go anywhere to get this. I don't have to be in any office. I don't have to be in any country. I can be in my house in my PJs, or I can be at work, or like with my daughter, I sent her to school every day. My son, I put it on him, sent him to school every day. Of course, he's still patching, but this gives you the freedom and flexibility to be able to help your body get back into balance. So how is that happening? Well, when you put this patch on, remember I said non-transdermal, that means nothing is going into the body. So if you put your hand on your chest, you are 98.6-ish degrees. We know that. You're almost 100 degrees. And we always say, oh, 98.6. Like, think about it, it's 100. It's 100. It was 90 here yesterday in Florida. Today it's like 80. So we're like, woo, cool down. But 98.6 degrees, that heat that your body emits, or light, we emit a low level infrared light. Right now, it just got dark here in Florida. I can go outside, can't see my dogs, I can't see the neighbors. Unless I'm looking through night vision goggles, I can see the heat or light that's being emitted from the body of the animal or the person, okay? And so you put this patch on, your body's light or heat reflects back a specific wavelength of light from this patch. So this is what I want you to understand. This is what David Schmidt has invented, okay? He has invented this proprietary blend of organic amino acids, that form this crystal lattice structure, amino acids that form in with oxygen, water, and sugars. Not sugar from your pantry or amino acids in a drink, but that solution forms a crystal lattice structure, okay? So I put the patch on my body reflects back a specific wavelength of light from that lattice structure that David's invented. It's a solution of molecules that form together in a specific way. They're called stereoisomers, okay? And again, you can find more information about that on the website if you're interested. So you put it on, what happens? It immediately elevates a peptide in your body. You're going to hear me talk about some different patches tonight. Each patch is a different solution of amino acids, water, oxygen, sugars. Each patch signals a different peptide. So a different lattice structure is what's embedded in this patch. So it's going to signal a different peptide in your body, which is fantastic. It's literally working at the speed of light. The second you put this patch on, it's elevating the peptide GHK-Cu copper peptide. That peptide declines as you age. So it's going to elevate it, increase it, right? Which is beneficial to your health. There's a website I want you to write down. It's reverseagingwithghk.com. That's where David started his research 15 years ago for this patch. Thank you, Laura, for putting that in there. Was a Dr. Lauren Picard, who has spent 5 decades doing clinical studies with GHK-Cu copper peptide and its benefits. Everything from COPD to asthma to allergies to cancers. It's all on Dr. Picard's website, okay? So David said, if I can figure out how to elevate GHK-Cu copper peptide, what will happen is it will actually reset a third of your genes back to their young, youthful, healthy state. Think in utero, perfect genes. Hopefully your mom had prenatal care back then. I don't know, but you had perfect genes when you were formed, right? Everything formed perfectly. There you are. Everything's amazing. You come out, you're exposed to God knows what, especially in this day and age, and all the starts of problems, happen to compound as you aged over time, right? But imagine resetting a third of your genes back to their young, youthful, healthy state. What happens with that? Woo, genes expressed to other genes, a little biology class here. Genes expressed to other genes. And so we have a compound effect with this patch. I'm going to talk to you about that here in just a little bit, of improving your body exponentially because of genes doing that inside of your body. It just happens, right? They express to other genes. So we increase our GHKCU copper peptide. We reset a third of the genes. One of those genes is called P63. Well, guess what it does? Mobilizes stem cells. Your stem cells. Your stem cells, not donor cells, but yours. So it actually mobilizes your own. Oh my God. Genius. My stem cells get woke up, right? They get reset. They're moving around now. They're going to work to do whatever is needed in my body to repair and regenerate in whatever order is needed. The body knows how to heal itself. When you cut your finger or break your bone, I was talking to Sharon a minute ago, she's the one that she's 70 years old, broke her wrist. Literally in 9 days, the x-ray showed not broken anymore, right? Colonel Tom, you all know Colonel Tom. Colonel Tom's wife just broke her wrist last Thursday. Here she goes back to the doctor today. 4 or 5 days later, barely even notice if something's broken. Now, how is that happening? How is wound healing happening like that? Well, because the stem cells are the ones that go to work to repair, right? When you break the wrist or you cut your finger, it's not the Band-Aid or the cast or the medicine that repairs those things, it's the body. Now, why would these two ladies in their 70s and 80s be able to repair so quickly? Because they're using this patch. This patch activated their own stem cells, elevated their own stem cells, reset them back to their young, youthful state, and their body went to repair like this fast. We have x-rays. I mean, you can see it, right? Look at Laura. Laura had a hip replacement almost 2 years ago, right after she found out about the patches. Should have been bruised from hip to toe. I mean, she's a $105 soaking wet, tiny little frame thing. The doctor beat her up. That's what he said, to get that hip out and get the new hip in. Not a bruise, nothing, right? Back in the gym, hip repaired super fast. That's the power of stem cells, to repair the body faster, right? To get the body back into balance, to help to be able to regenerate whatever's needed. That's cells, that's tissues, that's organs. That's your skin, anything. Cindy sent me a picture today of her legs, of something she's been dealing with literally looked like she'd been bitten by 5 million huge chiggers. And she's been dealing with this for 5 years. And now you can barely see anything on her legs. And she's been using the patch since, I think, November, she said. How is that happening? How is the body repairing itself from something that nothing else was doing? I hear these stories all day long, every day, of people that are experiencing huge improvements in their quality of life. We know from clinical studies, and I'm going to talk to you a lot about clinical studies. We know from clinical studies that people see in the first 3 to 6 weeks, faster wound healing, maybe in the first 3 to 6 days. They see more energy, more mental energy, more clarity, more focus, more concentration, faster recovery from their daily activity, from fitness. Right? We can see those things in studies. We also see improvements in their digestive system. I can't tell you how many people said, whoa, I'm starting to go now. And I'm like, you should be. We all should have 1 to 2 bowel movements a day, not 1 to 2 a week, right? So we're starting to see improvements in digestion, which is huge for eliminating toxins. We're seeing improvements in the nervous system. The nervous system is your fight or flight, your go, go, go. You're stressed all the time. When the body can come down and relax, we can start to see repair happen, right? We see improvements in the immune system. How many people say, well, I haven't got sick, or I did, but I was over it in like 2 days, where normally I would be down for weeks. We can see those kinds of improvements. And one of the things, and I'm sure you guys probably heard me back in February last month with Dr. Mario and Dr. Pamela, when we talked about East meets West, and we really focused on the heart. One thing that I love about this patch is what it does for the vascular system. We can see, not at the 1 week mark, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but at 6 weeks, We can start to see pretty significant improvements in the vascular system. That's your heart, that's all of your vessels, right? We can see improvements in that system in your body. That is huge. When you know what the #1 killer is, what is it? You guys all know heart disease. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer, and especially in men. So if you are a man, or if you know a man, that's probably important to you, that you make sure that he lives a long time, right? Most of you probably feel that way about the men in your life. Some may not, but anyway, those of you that do, their heart is super important. And we know that this X39 has exponential benefits when you continue to use it. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about that compound effect. So I interviewed Dr. Sanders for the second time. He's a pharmacologist. I interviewed him about 6 weeks ago, and I had interviewed him like a year and a half ago. He had a heart attack when he was 45. His heart was functioning as a 75-year-old. You guys probably know we can tell the functionality of your organs and your systems in your body. That's common. If you don't know that, ask your doctor or ask a naturopathic doctor, right? So anyways, as a pharmacologist, he was on, I think, 5 prescription medications, statins. None of it was helping his heart. It was functioning as if he were 75 years old and he was 45. Years go on. He gets off all the medications, starts using supplements, nutrition, that kind of thing. Heart's still functioning as a 75-year-old. Nothing would improve the functionality of his heart. He is introduced to the X39 stem cell activation patch. 1 year goes by. Now, he's had literally 20 years go by and nothing's improved his heart. 1 year goes by and his heart is now functioning as a 37-year-old and he is 65 years old. I don't know what you're doing for the next year. I don't know if you have heart issues. I don't know if you do and don't know it. Sometimes that happens. We hear of the widowmakers, when that happens, or a lot of times when women have a heart attack, it's just gone, right? They're just gone that fast. Men tend to, linger on after theirs. My dad had a heart attack, so I'm kind of speaking from experience there with him. But we only get one, right? Most all of us get one heart. You want to take care of it. And so knowing that using this patch over an extended period of time is going to improve all of your systems in your body, and especially that heart, which is super important, right? We want you all to live a long, healthy life. And so using this in conjunction with some of the other patches can only speed that up exponentially as well too. And so I want to make sure that I have time to answer your questions. And I know you're already asking them in the chat, but I want you to know first, because these are some of the common questions. There are no side effects to using the patch. I love this. David said this the other day on a Zoom. The patch has 0 side effects. It's going to signal, each patch is going to signal different peptides in the body to get the body into balance, to do what it's supposed to do. The body may have different ways that it interacts or responds or repairs during that process. And when I say that, sometimes people say, well, what if I had a little skin irritation around the patch? Well, it's a 3M hyperallergenic patch. So there's no allergies to the patch. Your skin is your largest organ. Maybe you're detoxing a little bit. What if you have a headache, or if you feel a little fatigued? Maybe you're detoxing a little. Maybe you're not hydrated enough. Water is the #1 question I ask. People tell me, oh, I drink lots of water. And I say, that's fantastic. How much do you weigh? Oh, well, I weigh 200. Okay, great. How much water do you drink a day? Oh, I drink 8-ounce glasses. And I'm like, that's fantastic if you weigh 120, but you weigh 200. How much coffee do you drink? Oh, just 3 cups. How about soda? Nope, I don't drink any soda, just a glass of wine with dinner. Yeah, you're severely dehydrated. And so it's really important that you understand with this patch, hydration is key no matter what. We need good, clean, healthy water. Good, clean, healthy water, not toxic water, good, clean water. We're not going to go into water discussions. But drinking the required amount for your weight is really important, okay? That is what you want to look at, your number, not 8-ounce glasses. That's when everybody weighed 120. I weighed 120 in 8th grade. It has not happened since, and it's never going to happen again, ever, because that's too small, right? And that some people do weigh that, but not a lot. Most people weigh 150, 160, 170, 180, 200, 250. Oh my gosh, right? And so you want to look at your weight and consume the water based on your weight. That's how you're going to feel the best and have probably no symptoms whatsoever. I have zero. I had nothing at all. I had no detox symptoms using the patch, and most people don't. But sometimes if you do, that's it. But there are no contraindications to anything that you use. There are no contraindications to medications, to supplements, to any type of therapies that you're doing. There's no interactions. Remember, this is working at the speed of light, like literally signaling peptides in your body that fast. And so when you know that this is not something I'm ingesting and it has to go down through my digestive tract and be assimilated and absorbed, where it can have contraindications with medications, right? Like, oh my gosh, if you're taking this medication, you shouldn't eat grapefruit. And if you're taking this medication, you shouldn't have this type of, whatever, melon or, whatever it is, right? Lots of contraindications. No worries about that with our patches. The other thing people ask me all the time is what if I leave it on longer? Like, how can I leave it on 24 hours? And no, you can't. It's 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Your body needs the break. Remember, I told you you're 100 degrees close to it. And so your body is communicating with this patch, right? Reflecting back that specific wavelength of light. And so you want to leave it on 12 hours and then take it off and throw it away and give your body that time to repair and regenerate. Okay. And then you do it again the next day. The general rule of thumb is 1 month for every 10 years you are old to get up to that full stem cell regeneration. So do you remember I said there's a compound effect? Ask the person that invited you. They can send you the PDF that shows you what to expect in 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months, and of course beyond. Here I am almost 2 years later, 2 years since I've been using this patch. Why am I still using the patch? I'm way past my time limit of 1 month for every 10 years I am old. I'm 48 years old. So why am I still using it? I started using this patch and I'm still using this patch for prevention. I'm here for longevity and vitality and prevention. I'm preventing those top 5 things that are the top 5 killers. I am preventing those, right? And so I'm reversing the functionality. So my body is not functioning as a 48-year-old at all. It's functioning as a 25-year-old. The longer you use this patch, the younger your age becomes. The functionality of your cells. Just like I told you, Dr. Sanders, his heart was functioning as a 75-year-old. Boom, now it's 37. That's what I'm talking about, reversing the functionality of an organ or of a system in the body. That is priceless. It's the price of a cup of coffee. I was cute. I was messaging with a girl from high school today, and we used to play soccer together. And she goes, how expensive is this? And I said, it's the price of a cup of coffee. And she's like, is it a Folgers cup of coffee or a Starbucks cup of coffee? And I'm like, in between. Starbucks is like $7. This is $3. So it's not a Folgers at home cup of coffee, but it's definitely affordable. That's for sure. So anyways, questions, I'm going to answer those now. So I'm so excited you guys are here. Can you wear carnosine daily? I've heard that we should wear it a few days and then stop wearing carnosine for a few days. I usually wear it every night. The reason being that carnosine builds up, the body does not need it. So carnosine is a huge antioxidant. Our body does make it, but it declines, of course, right? And so carnosine is a patch that you can wear every day. Every single day you can wear carnosine. The reason why the booklet says that you should wear carnosine, each patch has an instruction booklet with it. And it says in the instruction booklet here to use the patch 1 to 3 days per week at any of the points that are in the booklet here that you want to pick from. All of our clinical studies have been based in traditional Chinese acupuncture. And so you will see the acupuncture points, the meridians that are leading to specific systems or organs in the body that this patch impacts. So why would it say 1 to 3 days? Well, LifeWave is assuming that you do not exercise at all. And so if you don't exercise, the key component of carnosine is to help build lean muscle mass and help with recovery. I highly suggest that you do some type of exercise daily. If it's go for a walk, a swim, put on a YouTube video, do some arm circles, do push-ups on the wall, lay down and do little scissor things with your legs, do something, I don't know, but do something every single day to exercise. It's not going to build up in your system if you don't, but it does help you if you do for building lean muscle mass. Okay, so that's why they're just assuming that most people don't exercise, unfortunately. Do Tabatas. They're 4 minutes a day, and they can be serious. Oh my gosh. I remember when I started doing Tabatas last year, I'm like, whoa, this is for real. But I know Gloria, she found Tabatas for senior citizens on YouTube. So be creative, but do something every day. Another benefit of carnosine, though, and this is why I recommend you use it daily. Again, it won't hurt you to use it daily. I've been using it daily for 2 years. But another reason why is because of what it does for the heart. It loves the heart. Heart is a muscle, right? And so keeping that heart young and youthful, this carnosine is a huge part of that. The other reason is because of the brain. This was one of the patches I used with Taylor. It balances left brain, right brain hemisphere, improves cognition, communication. It improves the executive functions in the brain. Carnosine is huge for the brain. Anything to do with the brain. You're going to ask me about all kinds of diseases and syndromes and stuff. If it has to do with the brain, you're going to use carnosine as one of the patches you're going to use. Okay, always X39. We'll talk about Eon in just a second, but definitely carnosine. Okay, carnosine is great for the eyes, huge for the eyes. If you Google carnosine, you can find years of clinical studies with carnosine as a nutrient, which gets absorbed obviously in the stomach, but pretty much gets digested really fast because of the stomach acid. So it doesn't last very long. So it's really good to increase your own carnosine level. But if you Googled carnosine, you would find that carnosine removes heavy metals, specifically aluminum, from the brain. Clears clogged arteries. I mean, why would you not want to elevate your own carnosine level? I'm not really for sure. But anyway, asking about function, kidney function. So definitely the X39, absolutely 100%. We always want to use the Eon. Eon reduces inflammation. Eon puts your body in a parasympathetic state, and it also impacts all of your organs in a positive, beneficial way. And of course, one of those organs being kidneys. So we would definitely use that. Glutathione would be amazing as well, too, for kidney function, because again, we can see this is the master antioxidant, detox, or immune booster, but we can see how this impacts the organs as well. And again, go to startx39now.com. You can see the clinical studies and be able to click on them and see how they impact the function of the organs in the body. Do people with low blood counts and almost no immunity have stem cells to be rejuvenated? So every single person has stem cells. You are born with millions of stem cells. When you're a kid, that's why you're a kid. You're young, you're youthful, you have boundless amounts of energy. You can be in a crowded room and boom, you sleep like a baby, like nothing phases you, right? And then you get up and you go, go, right? Johnny's riding his bike, falls out of his tree, breaks his bone. He's off the next day. He has an abundance of stem cells. You have an abundance of them. As we age, your body has less and less that are active. By the time in your 30s, you've got about half of your stem cells active. The rest are there. They're just wore out. They're tired. I don't know if you realize this or not, but the average lifespan used to be 35 years old. Like 35 and you're gone. Now today, it's more than double that, right? Just a little bit more than double that. And so your body doesn't have any stem cells on board. By the time in your 60s, there's less than 10% detectable at all in your bloodstream. And so your body has them, but they're worn out, they're tired, they're old. That's why the key component of this is actually resetting a third of your genes back to their young, youthful, healthy state. And those genes expressing to other genes, right? That compound effect of using this day after day, week after week, month after month, or year after year, we can see massive improvements in all the systems, all the cells, all the organs and tissues in the body. And of course, you can go to our Telegram channel, Be Activating. If you're not in there, the Be Activating community, please get with the person that invited you. Of course, they can get you into that Telegram channel. But that has over 3,000 people's personal video recorded testimonials in there and how this has improved their quality of life over the weeks, months, and years. Okay. And so if you have immune system issues or you have low blood count, it's only going to help you improve your immune system, improve your blood count, and so that you do have a better quality of life. I'm guessing you were not born that way, right? And so we definitely can repair the systems. Are there any downside if someone does not have a complete thyroid? That is no problem at all. We have lots of people that have had their thyroid removed or had part of it removed. People have had hysterectomies, lots of things like that have happened, obviously, and it still functions perfectly to be able to help you improve your quality of life, no matter what it is, right? Thank you for sharing that, Stem Cell University. Oh, Katana, thank you. You had yours out 25 years ago? Woo! Yeah, girl, her testimonial is impressive. I don't know how many pounds you're down now, Katana, but you're looking fab, girl, so feel free to share your testimonial on there. Just put your little reply in the comment. Can it change genetic food intolerance? Yes, actually, we do see a lot of people that have food intolerances. I work with a doctor, Dr. Mel out in Nevada, and her gut protocol is the X39, the Eon, the glutathione, and the SP6. And so she focuses solely in her practice on gut health. And these are the 4 patches that she has her thousands and thousands of clients, because it's an online business, of course. We primarily do a lot through Zoom, and so we can reach people all over the world. But this is her gut protocol, these patches here. SP6 balances the entire endocrine system. And of course, a huge part of that as well is the organs. And so this is a huge part of the gut protocol, but it definitely, even her, she's young, in her early 20s. And a lot of her clients and patients are young, because a lot of people, because of the genetically altered foods and the dyes and the colorants, all the artificial stuff, they have gut issues, right? They have major gut issues, and we should not have that. Well, I didn't have that when I was a kid. I don't know about you guys, but we didn't have any kind of gut issues. It was rare if you got a Pop-Tart. That was like, woo, I get a strawberry frosted Pop-Tart on Saturday morning when I'm watching my cartoon. And that was a special treat, because, mom was making everything up in the kitchen every morning. So it can definitely improve the gut. Yes, 100%, and reduce your food intolerances or sensitivities. We see that a lot. If you're using Ice Wave and you get relief, do you need to use it every day? No, absolutely not. Ice Wave is just as needed for pain removal. It's a 2-patch system, and it works with the polarity of your body. So there's a white patch and a tan patch. And so the way this works is wherever the pain is, let's say if it's on your shoulder, you'd put the white one on the right, the tan one on the left. You've got a headache, say it's on your temples, white right, tan left, wherever it is, right? Knees, hips, whatever. Put it on there to eliminate the pain on the spot. If you're using the X39 and Eon every day, which you should be using to reduce the inflammation, which we know inflammation causes pain. We also know inflammation is the root cause of disease in the physical body. And using this X39, these two we call the dynamic duo. They're going to get to the root of the problem, repair the problem. So you don't have to use Ice Wave every day. If you're not in pain, or if these two are cutting it, then you don't need to use it. Just use it as needed. That's a great question. Does the patch repair the most damaged organ first, like the heart, the liver, etc.? That's a great question. So what we basically know about this technology is our body's own stem cells are activated. We cannot direct where they go. So if you're saying my heart is the most damaged, that does not mean that your stem cells are going to go repair that heart first. Yes, it repairs in the order that your body needs, but not in the order that we may think it needs. You may say, well, my kidneys are doing much better than my liver, but my knee, you know what I mean? You can't pick where your stem cells are going. Like I said earlier, the body has its own innate ability to know how to heal itself. It's designed that way. It just gets out of balance from surgery, accidents, injuries, diet, lifestyle, stress. Stress throws the body out of balance. We know that, right? And so when you look at these different organs, Yes, your stem cells are going to go to where they want to, where the body needs, but it may not be where you think it needs. And that's why we use the supportive patches, because I can tell you, when you reduce inflammation, you are going to speed up your results. We know that inflammation, stem cells are drawn to inflammation like a moth to a flame. David always shares that example. If I had a shoulder issue and I go to do a stem cell injection and I inject 2 million stem cells into my shoulder, because of the inflammation, this is the problem. I have no range of motion and I hurt. Maybe I'm supposed to have a surgery. I go inject a stem cell injection, say there's 2 million stem cells. I may only end up with 200,000 because the inflammation is going to consume them. So we know that this is going to exponentially speed up your repair process. And then when we look at different systems in the body, right, we look at different parts of the body, the brain, the heart, the muscles, we can use a couple different supportive patches to really be able to dig in to those specific organs or systems, areas of the body that you want to address as well. Maybe your stem cells will go where you want them to first, but we can't direct them. So I don't know. And that's why we always recommend, why David always recommends supportive patches. And not that you need all these supportive patches, right? David's invented a dozen different patches over the last 20 years. And I love every single one of them. And I've used every single one except for silent nights. I've never used this one because I don't have any issues sleeping, and I don't even need to try it because I'm out, right? I use the X39. I've always slept great, but now I go to sleep and then I wake up in the morning. I'm like, oh, I'm alive because I'm sleeping so deep. It's like you don't even register that you're even here. So you can use multiple patches though at the same time. You can use 2, 3, 4, whatever, 5 patches. When Laura and I met David 2 years ago at the first event here in Sarasota, literally he had on 12 patches. And the company didn't even have 12 patches yet. He's like, well, some of them are experimental. And so we're like, okay, how do we get those? And then come to find out, of course, one was the X49 that builds lean muscle mass and, does all kinds of amazing things for the heart and the brain and blood pressure and all that kind of weight and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So does the patch detox glyphosate, parabens, phthalates? So that's a great question. We do not have clinical studies on those specific things, just like heavy metals, parasites. We don't have clinical studies showing that it actually detoxes these things, because then we would claim to do something that we shouldn't probably be claiming to do, right? Like treat or cure a specific disease. And so when you look at glutathione being the master antioxidant, master detoxer, if you were to go to a naturopathic doctor or a functional medicine doctor and you said, oh my gosh, I've got glyphosate, I've got parabens, I've got these heavy metals in my body, what should I do? They're going to put you on IV glutathione. They're probably going to put you on suppositories, right? Laura did that, sublingual supplements. And the problem with glutathione and an exogenous outside source, it's only going to elevate your glutathione level by about 20 to 23%. And it has a 7-minute half-life and it's gone out of your system. This patch signals a peptide in your liver to elevate its own glutathione by 300 to 400% and sustains it for a 24-hour period. You wear the patch 12 hours, take it off, throw it away. Still, your glutathione levels elevated. Glutathione being a master antioxidant. Antioxidants neutralize toxins in the body, remove toxins, free radicals, rogue cells, things that aren't even in our body that are supposed to be in our body, right? If you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see where I have on there Dr. Daly, and not actually Dr. Daly, but David talking about the studies that he did with vaccinated people and looking at their blood under microscopy, light field, dark field microscopy. And he actually showed the slides and what their blood looked like months after receiving it, which it should not do that. It should be about 9 to 10 days and things should look normal again. And they were 3-4+ months out. And so what they recommended was using the X39 Eon and glutathione to detox the body, reduce the inflammation, and reset the damage. These 3 are the patches they recommend for their protocol for detoxing the body after receiving the jab. So definitely check that out. So can it detox those things? It absolutely can. One of my brand partners has 2 people in her family who have reverse polarity. Should we use energy enhancer and ice wave, tan on the right, white on the left? No. Go stand in the grass. You ready? Go stand in the grass with your bare feet for 10 minutes with no cell phone and just be thankful you're alive and run through the list of all the things you're grateful to God for. That's going to balance your polarity, and stay hydrated. Feet in the grass, feet in the dirt, feet in the mud, feet in the ice. I have been grounding for 20 years. 10, 15 minutes max, and you've literally reset your entire autonomic nervous system. Don't take anything out there with you. Just be present and be grateful. That's going to reset your polarity, and drink a lot of water. Water is important. Use the patches as directed. If you feel like your polarity is off, make it a habit of grounding. I have done it literally every single day for 20 years, no matter where I'm at. When I lived in Indiana and it was icy and snowy and it was horrible. Didn't matter. Every single night, bare feet in the grass, freezing cold, eyes up to the heavens, thankful to God for all the blessings in my life. Run through them all 10, 15 minutes. Have a block, not for sure what to do next in your life, in your business, in your family, your relationships. Go outside. Be present with God. You'll get those answers. Trust me, works amazing every single time. Patches, are they made in the USA? Yes, they are. San Diego, California is our distribution center, our manufacturer, our warehousing, and our lab. David does live in Orlando, so we do have a lab there as well too. But we do have 5 corporate offices globally, and we have 12 distribution centers globally. We are in 81 countries. One of our other largest the largest manufacturing facility is in Ireland. David just spent about $4.5 million last year updating all of the equipment. And so that everything, literally the patches are put together faster than the eye can see. So that is our largest manufacturing, but we do have one in San Diego. Corporate office in US is actually in Salt Lake City, Utah. What about ice wave patch, Dr. Staci? 12 on, 12 off? Yep, absolutely. One of my brand partners started with very itchy skin after 4 months of using patches. She's eliminated everything but no relief. She stopped to see if it stops comments. So I would definitely number one, I would ask, how much does she weigh? How much water does she drink? What's different in her food? If nothing was wrong for 4 months, what else has changed? Because the patches haven't changed. So the patches aren't just going to make you itchy all of a sudden. So what else has she been exposed to? Did she change a body cream, a soap? I know if I use a specific detergent, I'm itchy, right? I have to be super careful. If I go to a hotel and they've washed their towels and something, I'm like, ugh, right? It makes your skin itchy. So I would ask for those kinds of things. It's definitely not the patch. Have I heard of nose bleeding? I have heard of nose bleeding. That is a pretty common thing. So if someone has a lot of nosebleeds, I would definitely use the X39 and the Eon. Eon works amazing for balancing all when you look at the blood. And so I would definitely use that. What would you recommend for someone on dialysis? Oh my God, do you remember, what's his name? Was it Fernando? Ricardo? I can't remember. Anyway, oh my God, 41 years, 41 years. 41 years he was on dialysis. Age 16, he went on dialysis. 6 weeks after using X39, he started urinating on his own. Definitely X39. I would definitely use the Eon as well too, just because of the inflammation. Kidneys, it's always good for the kidneys. Eon's always good for the kidneys. Let's see, advanced diabetes. Neighbor stubbed his toe, needed surgery. Let's see, long-term to offer improved blood. So basically, when you look at the pancreas, remember, we're always doing X39 and Eon. I told you that carnosine impacts all the organs. Well, it directly impacts the glycation process in the pancreas. So we can see huge improvements in blood sugar with the carnosine. And remember, this is an antioxidant. So this just increases that carnosine level in your body. So I would 100% use the carnosine to balance out that blood sugar. We've even seen type 1 diabetics, and they're monitoring every single thing that goes in their mouth and on their pump, and they're having to reduce their ratios of the insulin, and it's pretty impressive. Exercise was Tabata. You can Google it. Specific ways to decrease lead. I have 400 times the amount one should have. Oh God, that's not good at all. So you would definitely want to talk to some type of holistic healthcare practitioner. Use the X39E on glutathione. Of course, carnosine can only benefit you. You need to get on some kind of serious heavy metal detox, though. I would look at some type of chelation process, making sure you're getting some zeolite, charcoal, something, maybe some herbal tinctures to pull that lead out of your body safely and effectively. The patches can definitely help you. But we all have heavy metals, and I'm huge on detox. Like, I have been detoxing literally for 30 years. Every quarter, I'm doing some type of detox. And so it's important to give your body a break from food. Sometimes it's important to give your body extra support in removing parasites and heavy metals and candida, things like that. That obviously, when you look at most people that have all these lists of problems, it's because they have a buildup of toxicity and they have viruses in their body, right? We're all born with Epstein-Barr. How fantastic is that? So depending on when that manifests, depends on what happens in the combination. It's just a big hot mess, honestly. But lead is not something to play around with. It's like mercury. It's going to kill you. So you need to get that out of your system. So definitely, Jess, work with your practitioner that is helping you on that to see what they recommend to get that out of your system. What if someone's in renal failure and can't drink a lot of water? So you have to look at the way this patch works. It works with light. We are trillions of cells of light. And so when you are signaling cells in the body, peptides are chains of amino acids, proteins. So the process in the body, your body needs water for the conductivity, for the cells. We need water, period. Every single person on the planet is dehydrated pretty much, except for like maybe me and Laura and a few of you on here, right? But most people are dehydrated. We need magnesium. We need electrolytes, especially magnesium. I think there's like 80% of the population that's deficient in magnesium. If you just correct that one thing, you'd correct a slew of health problems. So I can't tell you to go make someone in renal failure drink 100 ounces of water if they just can't feasibly do it. Can they still get benefits from the patch? Probably some. Not what they could get if they would actually consume the amount of water that their body needs. So it can't hurt them, but they may not feel fantastic. I don't know. I mean, we have people all the time that don't drink that required amount of water for whatever reason. They're trying to get their water in, and they still do have some benefits. So I can't say that people don't. I don't know. You can just try it and see. Can Nirvana increase anxiety before it gets better? I have never had one person that it said they increased anxiety. I've seen the opposite. Usually in about 15 minutes, Nirvana starts to help people calm down, relax, induces a blissful state. But I mean, everybody's different. I think it's kind of like, sometimes people are like, oh, my blood pressure elevated. I'm like, your blood pressure could elevate if you're spooked when you walk in a room. Most people have white coat syndrome. Just the thought of even taking their blood pressure makes it elevate. And most people consume way too much sodium. Let's just be honest. Your sodium potassium ratio is way off. People consume frozen foods, fried foods, canned foods, packaged foods. They're full of sodium. And where are you getting potassium? Vegetables, right? Dried fruits. So take a look at that for sure. But no, the anxiety, the patch does the opposite. Does it help with acid reflux and stomach inflammation? I would definitely use the gut protocol I mentioned earlier with the X39 on and SP6 glutathione. So I personally use carnosine for acid reflux and it stopped within minutes. That's fantastic. We have heard of using it like for bloat, using the carnosine right below the sternum, like down below, above the belly button, but below the sternum. So that's fantastic to hear that it helped with acid reflux. Fantastic. Why is energy enhancement not mentioned often? Are you talking about energy enhancer? Didn't see it increase energy when I use them like the other products. So energy enhancer is designed for stamina and endurance. Remember, this is the first patch that David invented when he was working for the Navy SEALs on their many submissions. And he was asked to contribute to the problem the SEALs had with sustainability, endurance, stamina, energy in the field, longevity, being able to stay up for days on end, not that you're going to do that, and be able to have energy to do it. Not like caffeine or Red Bull or a big sugary drink. not that kind of energy. So you may not notice a bolt or jolt of energy with Energy Enhancer. It just may be that stamina endurance that you don't have that lull in the afternoon or, early evening from this. And remember, in the booklet, there are 5 different spots. So try each of the different spots for 7 days or 3 days, mix it around. A lot of people say that they feel a lot of energy, more so from the other locations when they use that stomach 36 point. I've never felt this like, whoa, crazy energy from it. I just have stamina and endurance, which is what it's about, right? So kind of keep that in mind too. What if someone doesn't have a thymus gland? You can still use it. That's fine. No problem. Can you repeat the patches used for gut health? Yep, just did that. I'm down 48 pounds. Holy cow, Katana, that is fantastic. 20 in the first 14 days. Oh my God, that's definitely inflammation. Wow, girl. Help with eyes, teeth, and knees. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Overactive bladder. Oh yeah, definitely the X39 Eon. And again, looking at the bladder, that's obviously in your, you look at your organs. I would use the glutathione, carnosine for sure. Those would definitely impact the bladder. What patches would you use if your body is hot all the time due to not having a thymus gland? So when you look at the endocrine system, I would use the X39 Eon and the SP6. I would use these. That's what I would definitely use for being hot. Can just fold the arms and hold for a few seconds. That's great. Thanks for sharing that tip. Polarity, why bare feet? You have ticks. Well, find a spot where there are no ticks. So I live out in the woods. We live on 8 acres. We're surrounded by thousands of acres of woods. I don't have any problems with ticks. Maybe you do in your area, Jenny. Pick a different spot in your yard or something. But the ground, the earth, is hit by lightning at least 500,000 times per day all over the planet. Okay, so that creates a negative ion situation. And so when you put your body, your feet, your lay on the ground, right? Whatever. Why do you see dogs out there? Like, I go to let my dogs out, and half the time, they go potty, and the other half the time they're just rolling around in the grass, right? Because it feels good. They love that connection to the earth, and it just kind of calms down the nervous system. And so when you put your bare feet on the ground, it's called earthing. You can Google earthing, and it balances your polarity. It balances your entire system. Like I said, it brings that nervous system into balance in about that 10 to 15 minute mark. So that's the easiest, simplest, fastest way to balance your polarity. And like I said, again, lots of water. Do you think the energy enhancer patches could make you more aggressive? I'm unique if this is true. I have never seen anyone that it's made more aggressive. So I'm not for sure why it would make you aggressive. I have not seen that. Due to a benign pituitary brain tumor surgery, my son no longer has pituitary gland. So he can definitely use the X39. We have lots of people that have had things removed from their body. So you can use the X39 for sure. You can definitely use the Eon. I mean, that's a patch that just helps with inflammation in the body. He's had surgery, so there is inflammation. And then if you're looking at the pituitary gland, if he's not in balance, per se, you could use the SP6. That balances the endocrine system. Roberto, thank you, Linda. I knew it was something I couldn't remember. Practitioners give me a detox, but throws me off other ways. Practitioners give me a detox, but throws you off other ways. So I would try to find a different detox. Then you definitely want to get the lead out of your system. And there are tons of ways to do that on the market. So any patches help with hernias. So again, looking at the stem cell activation patch, look at your inflammation, reducing the inflammation in the body. That would be super important. It depends on what type of hernia, what's causing it, that kind of thing. Vertigo easily. I notice if I try to put the X39E on the back of my neck, I start to feel a little vertigo. So then put it below your belly button. And if you do feel a little bit of dizzy on the back of your neck, remember that this spot, CV7, it was picked for a reason. Massive amounts of nerves come into that area. And so if you have ever seen a chart that shows what your spine looks like, and the nerves coming off of your spine, they're connected to every single organ and system in your body. That's why chiropractic care is so important, finding a really good chiropractor. But if this spot here makes you a little dizzy or a little lightheaded, again, water is super important for that. But move it below your belly button, right? We all feel something a little bit different. I don't feel anything on the back of my neck, but some people do. So just move it to a different spot. Can children wear the patches? I had to vaccinate, and she's been sick ever since. Detox, but needs more. I don't know what you mean by children. My children were my first 2 people that I patched, but I don't know what age you're talking about. So we have no clinical studies on kids for obvious reasons. So I can't recommend that you patch your children. With that being said, I've patched lots and lots of kids, of course, thousands of people that I've worked with that have patched their children. It's a personal choice if you patch your kids, just like it's a personal choice of what you feed your children. So again, nothing's going in the body, nothing harmful, signaling peptides to put the body back into balance. If the body's out of balance, how can I get the body back in balance? Stem cells get the body back into balance, right? So bleeding nose, wearing X39. So that is not something that happens with X39. I've never had a bloody nose. I don't know if any of you guys on here have with X39. So I would see, again, what else is going on. Is it dry in your house? Is it, do you have a dehumidifier or humidifier in the winter? We're using dehumidifier. We're down here in the air conditioning in Florida. But, what other types of outside sources or things are changing? Is there pollen in the air? Is it allergy, something like that? But X39 doesn't cause nosebleeds. If you find that you're having bruising or things like that, make sure you use Eon. That helps with your blood, gets your blood in balance. Okay, so first I couldn't put Nirvana on the third eye. It was too intense. It began with putting it on the heart and eased into using it. That's great. Yeah, we definitely pick the spot. You can pick any spot. That's why there's lots of suggestions in there. Nirvana and pain reduction. So if you use the Nirvana patch with the supplement, David has invented a supplement. It's the only supplement we have. If you use the patch with the supplement, we have found in clinical studies that between 1 to 3 weeks, you will have full body pain elimination. So pain gone. Why? Because it increases your own beta endorphins. Beta endorphins are 20 to 30 times more powerful than morphine. So that's why we see pain reduction if you're using those two. Energy enhancer is definitely dynamic post-COVID. Yes, it is. So energy enhancer also turns over your lymphatic system faster. And so we know your lymphatic system. That's why I said exercise, move your body. It's so important because that turns over your lymphatic system, which is how you get toxins out of your body, is the lymph system. So moving that stuff out of your body is super important. And energy enhancer does that, helps speed up that lymphatic system, especially like when you look at the phlegm excess in the lungs and stuff. If you've had COVID, using it on those lung points is really beneficial as well too. Is there a patch that helps with hormones relating to menopause? So I would definitely use the X39 Eon SP6, and I would use the Shine and Dream. David invented them for himself to keep his hormones balanced as he turns 60 next month. And so these right now there's a promo that's going on. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but if you purchase the Shine and Dream, of course, you can purchase them at the wholesale price. You actually get a 23% discount on the Energy Enhancer and SP6. So there's a huge promo going on right now. So if you log into your back office, and if you don't know how to log in, and if you don't know what your login information is, ask the person that invited you. But if you log in, you can see where it says promotions, store, and then promotions. You will see this promo. So Energy Enhancer, wait, no, I think about Energy Enhancer and Silent Night. Sorry. Energy, I'm like day and night. Wait a minute. Energy Enhancer and day and night. We're talking about two different things, but it made me think of that. So this is the promo right now. Up in the day with Energy Enhancer and Shine, asleep at night with Silent Nights and Dream. But when you're looking at hormone balance, these two are what David invented to balance all of your hormones, human growth hormone, testosterone, estrogen, all that in a safe, easy, and effective way. So I would definitely use those. And then, of course, like I said, the Silent Nights and the Energy Enhancer are at a huge discount when you purchase them. at the discounted price. All right, time is up. Thank you for sharing that, Lori. I appreciate that. Patch is used instead of stem cell therapy, or should this be used as a supplement before and after? If you're using any type of stem cell therapy, you can use the patch along with it perfectly fine. It's only going to activate your own stem cells and reset them back to their young, youthful state. Let me see if there's just any more questions real quick. Something for POS, produce too much insulin, use the X39 Eon carnosine, again, balancing that blood sugar. What patches are best for athletes during performance? X39, X49 for sure. Energy enhancer, 100%. Eyes, we look at 39 Eon carnosine. Again, put the patch on the body based on one of the spots. So pick a spot in here. Try a spot for 7 days, try a different spot for 7 days, try a different for 7 days, different. All right. Let's see. Go stand on the grass. I love it. Do it. Okay, you guys. So cataracts, again, eyes, you would look at X39 Eon carnosine. Concrete is not grounding. Travertine, limestone, things like that are, when you think of something from the earth, but concrete is definitely not grounding. I would not stand on concrete. Client of mine has lost eyesight. I just mentioned eyesight. I don't layer patches. You put one underneath the other, underneath the other, underneath the other. If you're on chemotherapy, don't use the patch on the day you're using chemo because it kills everything. What's the point? Wait till afterwards, right? And yeah, Silent Night, thank you. Fantastic. All right, you guys. So if you have any other questions, get back with the person that invited you. We are all connected to someone, of course, in this organization that has answers and can help you further get what's best for you, whatever pack is best for you. And if you have any other questions, like I said, just get back with them. They're more than happy to help. So thank you guys for being here tonight. I'm super excited for all of you, for the growth, for the people's lives that you're impacting. You're making a difference. And that's really what this is about, is helping people improve their quality of life. So thank you guys. Thank you. Have a